Part 3 of Full Court Press Basketball Debate, January 27th, 2015. Kevin Durant, quote, "I don't need all-star votes to validate me." Yvonne Juno, your thoughts on the quote?
Well, as I said, first of all, let's talk about Kevin Durant. He's soft-spoken, he's quiet, he's not that opinionated, he's not a hustler, he's just now coming out of his shell. For a man with Kevin Durant's personality to make a statement like this, you got to read between the lines. I hear bitterness and I hear jealousy. And he should not feel that way. Okay? This really surprises me. He's obviously bitter about it. All right? But at the time that the All-Stars were being voted upon, he was not the same Kevin Durant. You know what? This might have done him some good. Right around the same time, people started calling in and started posting their all-star votes, and he saw he was not getting votes. Maybe somebody said, "Hey, man, nobody knows who you are because you're not out there. You're not voicing your opinion about things. You're not being the aggressor. You're not out there dominating on the court. You look like you're being intimidated by certain people." This may have done him some good. I hope I'm wrong, I hear jealousy in this.
This is 100% jealousy. That's the fact of the matter. I don't care that Kevin Durant is soft-spoken. I don't care that Kevin Durant doesn't voice his opinion about certain things. I don't care that Kevin Durant is not a media hog. Great, good for you. He's also the defending MVP.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Obviously something that he failed to remember when he made this quote.
Excuse me. You sound very jealous, sir. You are 26 years old and have already won 4 scoring titles.
Okay, I hear a different tone in your voice about Kevin Durant that I've never heard before.
Yes.
Obviously, this really pissed you off.
It does.
Okay.
Very much. Because...
In other words, he's being
because
grateful and unappreciative for what he's achieved already.
Because he's right. He doesn't need all-star votes.
That is a good point.
To validate him.
Or he shouldn't.
But you don't gotta go say it.
Right.
What does it look like?
It looks like
looks like you're jealous of Stephen Curry. Kevin Durant is jealous of Steph. What?
Right.
He's not. I can tell you for 100% fact that he's not.
He's jealous of the attention that the all-star votes are getting.
But it's what it looks like.
Yep.
It's the impression it makes.
Yep.
It's bad. That's bad.
Yeah.
Let's take this back to the 22nd. Thursday. Last Thursday.
Okay.
Derrick Rose leads Chicago in the rout of the defending champion San Antonio Spurs. I bring this game up. It's very random, obviously. But I want to know, Yvonne, what did this game show you, if anything?
I would like, for those of you that can't see because we're doing this audio instead of video, I would like to show Chris what I wrote on my pick sheet next to this game. I wrote a big fat, what? Chicago beat San Antonio.
By 23.
By 23 points. I was in shock watching the game. I really was in shock. And I'll be honest with you. It shows me something about both teams. It shows me that Chicago got off to a good start, ran with it, and said, you know what? We got this. Let's go. And just took off. And it also shows me that San Antonio said, oh, well, I guess we'll let them have this one. Do you think San Antonio scoring 81 Honest to God. Tim Duncan played, right? Tim Duncan played. Tony Parker played, right? Kawhi Leonard played, right? All right, there you go. And everybody else did too. What? San Antonio scored 81 against Chicago with 104. I think they gave up on this game. I don't think they tried. I don't think that they, all right, let me rephrase that. Maybe gave up is not the right term to use in the same sentence with the elite San Antonio. Okay? Did they do their best and try their hardest? And did they play to their full ability? No.
I am utterly insulted.
Why?
Because you are not nearly giving Chicago enough credit.
You can't compare Chicago and San Antonio.
Obviously I can.
For this one game, yeah.
No, for the whole season, because Chicago has a better record than San Antonio does. That's the reality of it.
Right now?
Oh, yes, ma'am. That's the reality of it.
Up until about 3 weeks ago, they did not.
The reality of it is that San Antonio is 7th in the West. And Chicago is 4th in the East. And Chicago has better...
Yeah, but whoa, wait a minute. Whoa. You're comparing the East and the West.
Okay, let me finish. Chicago has 3 more wins and 2 less losses than the San Antonio Spurs do. So obviously I can compare them.
Yeah,
and I am insulted because you are going to sit there and call San Antonio elite. After this game, they're elite?
No, not for this game, but all around they are. And you know they are.
And why weren't they elite in this game?
And well, I don't know.
Because Chicago didn't let them. That's why.
You are not going to sit there and, okay, I knew we were going to have a dispute about one of these topics. Okay, you cannot honestly tell me that you think being a top contender in the West is not better than being one in the East. You yourself, I could go back and play you some of the debates we've had before. Come, look at the difference between the West and the East. It's almost unfair.
It is.
The amount.
It is also unfair to say that San Antonio gave up. That San Antonio...
That's what it looks like they did.
That San Antonio didn't play to their full potential. Why? Because they were stopped. Because they were not allowed to. Excuse me. Kawhi Leonard, 5 of 11. Danny Green, 3 of 6. Tim Duncan, 2 of 7. Tony Parker, 4 of 9. And in the same breath, you're going to call them elite and not give Chicago credit for stopping them.
Since when do you not call San Antonio an elite
Because they did
team?
not play like an elite team in this game.
For this one game.
That's right. That's right. And I'm giving the credit to Chicago. I'm not going to say San Antonio gave up on themselves. San Antonio beat themselves because that's a load. That's a load. Look at this.
I didn't say they beat themselves.
Look at this.
I said they did not play to their full potential.
Why? Because Chicago didn't let them. 37% shooting for San Antonio as compared to 48 by Chicago. San Antonio, 6 of 21 from 3. Really?
So you've obviously changed your mind drastically.
No, I have not.
About them being a repeat.
No, I have not. In this game, because I am not going to let you sit there and say that San Antonio gave up.
Okay.
Without giving credit to Chicago.
Okay, we can...
That's unfair.
Okay, we can single out game for game, okay? New Orleans just beat the hell out of Philadelphia. 2 weeks ago, they beat the hell out of us.
Okay?
Okay? You can't compare the two games.
Sure you can. Sure you can.
No, you can't.
Why?
Because they're two totally separate entities.
They're the same team versus the same team. How are they separate entities?
Because every night and every game is a different game, different setting, different frame of mind, different whatever.
But why didn't we win that game in Philadelphia?
They outplayed us.
Exactly. And I'm sorry. 37%. 6 of 21. San Antonio, Ivan, got out-assisted in this game by Chicago. And you're going to sit there and tell me this game's on San Antonio? And that Chicago didn't outplay them? And you're not going to give credit to Chicago for beating San Antonio, who, by the way, had 15 turnovers in this game, to Chicago's 10.
I never said that Chicago did not win the game. I said San Antonio did not play to their potential.
Why?
To win the game.
Why? Because they were stopped. They were stopped.
You're telling me Chicago's a better team than San Antonio?
Right at this particular moment and time, yes.
For this one particular game?
No.
One particular
This
night.
season, Chicago has been the better team.
You gotta be kidding me.
I'm sorry, did Chicago not beat San Antonio in their only meeting thus far this season? Yes or no?
You
Answer the question. In their only meeting this season, this game right here, Chicago won, correct?
Yeah.
Who has the better record? Chicago. So right now, at this particular moment in
You
time,
can't compare the teams in the East versus the teams in the
Chicago
West.
has played plenty of teams from the West. Plenty. I'm sorry, did Chicago not just get through beating Dallas this week? Last time I checked, they're a Western Conference team in the same division as San Antonio. Chicago's beaten us this year. We're a Western Conference team. Chicago played Golden State. Chicago plays Golden State tonight. They're a Western Conference team. I am not going to let you sit there and not say.
Then justify the fact that you think that when it's all said and done, San Antonio's still going to come back on top and win the whole thing.
Because it's history. Because they have a rodeo road trip every year. They go out east and they go on a road trip. And they win on this road trip. That's what gets their season started. That is where they pull the pieces together and become the dominant San Antonio Spurs that we've known them to be.
We're not even at the All-Star break
No, we're
yet.
not.
Okay, so what's going to happen now? Are you telling me you think this pattern is going to continue?
What pattern?
Of Chicago winning and San Antonio falling further and further
No.
down the list?
I
Because
just said.
if that's the case, they're not going to be a repeat.
I just said that San Antonio has their rodeo road trip. That's when they put all the pieces together and they become the elite Spurs that we know them to be.
After the All-Star break.
Right before. They're about to start the road trip. You got 2 weeks till the All-Star break. This is where San Antonio's real season begins. They're going to put it together. They're going to repeat. But I am not going to let you sit there and say that San Antonio did not run into a brick wall in this game. Because even San Antonio can be stopped.
Absolutely. And I will give you this game.
We're talking about this game.
Okay?
Long term, who comes out better? With the way the West is compared to the East, Chicago's going to have a better seeding. But who's going to get farther? San Antonio. I stick by that. But I'm not going to let you sit there and say that San Antonio gave up. And that...
Okay, then I take that part back, but they damn for sure didn't play to the best of their ability.
But why? Because they were stopped. Tony Parker, 4 of 9. He was stopped by Derrick Rose, who, by the way, had 22 and 12 in this game. And Tony Parker could not stop Derrick Rose. Pau Gasol had 19 and 17 in this game. Who do you know outplays Tim Duncan?
Then I want to turn it around on you. Why the hell doesn't Chicago do this every time?
Because they can be stopped. They can be stopped as well.
Any team on any given night can
That's
be
right.
stopped.
That's right.
Okay? Why doesn't Chicago step up to the plate like this more often?
They did against Dallas. They've been better. Their real test is tonight at Golden State. That's their real test.
And we both picked Golden State over Chicago.
Yes, but I think it's going to be a close game.
If you have so much confidence in Chicago, why aren't you picking Chicago over
Because
Golden State
has been unstoppable at home.
Okay?
Golden State has a 19 home game winning streak.
Okay?
If this was in Chicago, I'd easily pick Chicago. But Golden State has been unstoppable at home. But you're going to ask me, which team do I trust in a 7-game series? Chicago. Because Golden State's one-dimensional. You yourself have said it.
Yeah. But if you had a 7-game stretch between San Antonio and Chicago.
San Antonio. Over any team. Over any team. Any team in the history of the league.
On just this one particular game.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'll give you that.
Chicago. So what does it show me? Was the original question. Showed me that Chicago's an elite team. And it showed me that Chicago is nothing to be messed around with. And that Chicago is going to be a threat.
Any team can be beat on any given night.
The Tom Benson situation.
Do you really think we should talk about that on the air?
Just your general thoughts.
No. Why don't you just tell the public what's going on for posterity purposes?
Well, Tom Benson took his family out of his... Tom Benson's 87, uses a wheelchair and a walker.
Ever since his knee surgery, he's never been the same.
So, in his will and in his statements, written statements, upon his death, he took his family out of it, out of his...
Mostly his granddaughter, who was supposed to take over.
And gave it to his wife. And now...
He signed over everything in his wife.
And now the granddaughter and the entire family is suing him for pretty much everything he owns. Just your general thoughts on the issue.
Well, number one, the man ain't dead yet. That's the number one thing.
That's a good point.
So everybody should stop dwelling on the fact of what's going to happen when Granddad's gone and try to appreciate and live and love him while he's still here.
Yeah.
Number two, you shouldn't have to depend on your grandparent for your livelihood for the rest of your life.
Good point.
Go out and get yourself your own damn job.
Good point.
Why are you living off Granddad after all this time? And number three, that's his wife. He can leave whatever he wants to whoever he wants.
That's right.
And everybody should just shut up about it. If you don't like it,
learn to love it.
Pack your bags. Don't let the door hit you in the ass as you're leaving. And go see if you can find somewhere else to get yourself a job where you can have it made, making that kind of money, and be able to run the show.
Yvonne Juno on the Tom Benson situation. Couldn't have put it better myself. The Cavs' Sean Marion says he'll retire at season's end.
Really? Okay.
Yvonne, your thoughts and what will you remember about Sean Marion?
I'm a little surprised. I knew it was coming. Did you expect him to retire at the end of this? You did.
Yeah. He signed a 1-year deal with Cleveland. He wants a championship. He wants another championship, and then he wants to leave.
Well, I'm not sure he's going to get that championship he wants.
Yeah, they keep playing like they are right now. They're going to be tough to beat.
Yeah.
That's all I know.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's not in the works. Don't read it too much into it. Anything can happen at any given moment. I understand that. What am I going to remember the most about him? I think for myself, personally, I would sum it up by using just one adjective: consistent. Not a publicity hog, not a ball hog, not a show off, not being arrested, there when you need him, not insulted if you have to sit him down, showing up when he needs to show up. Consistent. Consistent.
When you talk about Shawn Marion, and this is a very little known fact about Shawn Marion, he is the only player in NBA history, Yvonne, with 15,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, 1,000 blocks, and 500 three-pointers. Only player in history.
Really? I had no idea.
So what will I remember about Shawn Marion?
Quiet Storm.
What will I remember about
Man.
Shawn Marion? Well, they don't call him the Matrix for nothing.
Well, I didn't realize the stats were that good.
He's a winner.
Yeah.
From his days in Phoenix on those 60 and 58 and 63 win teams with Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire to the championship in Dallas with Dirk and Jason Kidd and Jason Terry.
Oh, he's seen it all.
And now with Cleveland, the guy's a winner.
He has
The
seen
guy
it all.
is a winner.
And yet he's like a rippling brook, but the undercurrent
He's
is
just good.
strong.
He's
I'm saying his name's not in the headlines all the time for all of these things that these guys get in trouble for. And where does he deserve to stop now and catch his
Absolutely.
breath and enjoy the rest of his life? Yeah.
He's a fantastic
but you know
player.
What?
First ballot Hall of Famer.
But you know what? I think he's going to miss it a lot.
I think he will too. They all do.
Yeah.
They all do.
Yeah.
But congratulations to him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's first ballot Hall of Famer. What else you need to say?
Yeah.
Carmelo Anthony on tanking. Quote, "It's a bad mentality to have." Yvonne, do you agree or disagree, and why?
I don't like this topic. I don't like this subject. I don't think it should even be discussed because I don't think it should be happening. That pretty much sums up what I think.
Okay. I agree, and I am proud of Carmelo Anthony.
Oh, that goes without saying. I'm proud of Carmelo
Because we've
for
heard
so many things.
We've heard
I'm proud of Carmelo for sticking with the team that he's with in the condition that they're in, because I have a feeling if he wanted to leave, they would be lined up trying to steal him.
We've heard Adam Silver say tanking's not going on, and there was the rumor about Philadelphia trying to do it, and it's good that a player of Carmelo Anthony's stature steps up and says something like this. It's just it's good.
Excuse me, Chris, I have a question for you. Do you believe that? That there's no tanking going on?
Yes, I do.
You do?
Mhm.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
I don't see any team trying to lose right now.
Okay.
I believe it was going on.
Let me ask you a question. If you don't see a, quote, team trying to lose, isn't that the same thing as when they let somebody that's the starter and maybe the best player on the team sit on the bench so he can, quote, rest?
Not necessarily. Depends on who you're talking about.
It
It depends on who you're talking about.
If you know that by letting that player sit out, i.e. LeBron James, you let LeBron sit out.
Oh.
Aren't you running more than a 50% chance that you're going to lose that
Okay,
game?
let me take it further. Depending on the team you're playing. Because let's be honest, Cleveland, even without LeBron, could beat Philadelphia. With
Okay.
Kyrie Irving
Okay.
and Kevin Love and all
Okay.
those guys. Let me give you a better example. If New Orleans was playing San Antonio and we sat Anthony Davis, yes, you're trying to lose.
Well, yeah, because if Anthony doesn't play, you're going to lose
If they
anyway.
were trying to lose, it would be obvious.
Okay.
It would be obvious. You have to look at who that team is, what that player provides to that team, and who that team is playing against.
Yeah, because another opposite side of the spectrum of that, they sat Kobe for a couple of games. You know good and well they didn't sit Kobe so they could lose on purpose. They're already losing.
Right. Sources.
Okay.
LeBron made a recent pitch to Ray Allen. We know the history
Is
between.
that confirmed?
It is.
That is confirmed.
It is.
That's not just media hype.
No, it has been confirmed. We know the history between LeBron and Ray Allen on Miami. Would Ray Allen fit in Cleveland? Why or why not?
Oh God, that's such a hard topic. I think Ray Allen would. All right, let me see if I can say this right, so you'll understand what I'm saying. I think Ray Allen would fit in anywhere on any team. Wait, because he's Ray Allen. Personality-wise, he would fit in anywhere. He's not a troublemaker. He's easygoing. He's laid back. Would he be use another adjective? Would he be a benefit to any team? Absolutely, because he's Ray Allen. Okay? Now, for his playing ability, would he fit in on any team because he's Ray Allen and because there would be jealousy and animosity? That is a factor. I don't know how Cleveland would feel about, would he be a bench? Or he would start? And if he would start, whose place would he take?
I don't think he'd start. I don't think he'd start.
If he would, whose place would he take?
Who's Cleveland starting at the 2 right now? Isn't it J.R. Smith? But neither one of those guys have a problem coming off as the 6th man.
I think you're wrong. I think JR would resent being put on the bench and having Ray Allen
Maybe he
at
might.
his age.
Maybe he might.
Not being signed by anybody right now after he's already played half the season with them, having to sit on the bench and watch Ray Allen play.
Maybe.
So I'm trying to play devil's advocate here. I think anybody would be more than lucky to have Ray Allen on their team. Now, this is not the Ray Allen from 10 or 15 years ago. Okay? We know that. But if he's on a roll and he's hot, get out of his way.
Still the greatest three-point shooter to ever enter the
I
league.
agree. Okay? Now, different teams might feel differently about this. Cleveland, per se, I don't know. What do you think?
Stick with what you got. You're on a 6-game winning streak. You have found a team. You have found a system that works.
What if they got him and they sat Ray? Do you think Ray would go for that?
I don't know. It's tough to say.
Okay, don't you think Ray Allen would rather sit and be a player than not to be signed at all? God
You'd have to
forbid
ask
something
Ray Allen.
happens to JR. Who do we have to take JR's place? This way we'd have somebody. You talk about make our bench hotter.
We'll see. It's interesting.
What do you think?
Stick with what you got.
Don't sign him. Can you honestly see a whole basketball season going by and not Ray Allen not playing for anybody?
No. But maybe not Cleveland. That's what I'm saying. Cleveland, not yet. Unless your three-point shooting starts to fall, unless you start losing close games, because that's what Ray Allen is good for, hitting clutch shots. Hitting shots that you, when you have nobody else, there he is.
Question. What do you think about Ray Allen going to Brooklyn and playing with Paul Pierce again?
Paul Pierce doesn't play for Brooklyn.
I mean,
Washington? No. Already have a shooting guard. Bradley Beal. That ain't going nowhere.
You think the connection between Paul Pierce and Bradley Beal is better?
No. But Paul Pierce would want Ray Allen to start, and that's not happening.
Beal would be pissed.
Yep, because Beal deserves the starting spot.
There you go.
It's tough.
That's a no-win situation.
All right, Pelicans outlook. Right now, Yvonne, 4-game win streak. Okay? 9th in the West. We're a game above Oklahoma City, a whole game. And we're 1.5 games behind Phoenix for the 8th spot. It's amazing what this week could do.
All right? Please enlighten me.
I am not focused on any other teams.
Who's trying to get in touch with you so much?
Guys from the flag football
Okay.
league.
It's canceled?
No.
Oh.
It is amazing because I'm not focusing on any other team besides New Orleans and Phoenix this week. Okay, you look at New Orleans. Our next game at home against Denver. Winnable game. No Ty Lawson in that game, Yvonne. Winnable. Okay?
Absolutely.
The problem is,
Do we have another one after that before Friday when we go?
no.
We got 3 days
That same night, Yvonne, Phoenix is at home against Washington. I believe with everything in me that Washington is going to win that game.
When is this?
Wednesday. Down at the bottom,
Oh,
you've got
okay.
New Orleans.
Okay.
Next page, you've got
I was looking.
You've got Washington at Phoenix.
All right.
I believe Washington can win that game. That means, Yvonne, if that happens, we are a half game
Oh my
behind
God.
Phoenix for the 8th spot. Then you look at Friday night, we've got the Clippers at home, and Phoenix has Chicago at home. Again, I truly believe that Chicago is going to win that game.
Away.
Here's the catch.
Away.
Yes.
You think Chicago can beat Phoenix in Phoenix?
Yes. Here's the catch.
We got to beat the Clippers then.
No, we don't. Even if we lose to the Clippers, okay,
Okay.
we will take the 8th spot. If Phoenix loses their next 2. We will own the 8th spot by a half game.
I don't see Phoenix beating Washington.
Exactly. Right. If Phoenix loses to Washington and loses to Chicago,
Okay.
which is
but you're
highly
missing my
likely.
point. You're missing my point. I don't see Phoenix beating Washington, but I don't. I don't see Chicago beating Phoenix.
I do. You see Chicago beating San Antonio, but not Phoenix.
No, I never expected that.
Uh-huh. Okay. So who to you is better, San Antonio or Phoenix?
San Antonio.
Okay. Okay.
I see where you're going with that
Okay.
logic.
I see Phoenix
Now
losing
Chicago
those 2
also has
games.
to play the Lakers, but that's not going to be a big
I
deal.
see Phoenix
I'm
losing
trying
those
to-
2.
I'm trying to see. Okay. Oh,
And then
Chicago's on the road,
if
bud.
but wait. The
But
Clippers
Chicago's
game.
games are on the road. Phoenix's are at home.
But wait. If we can, even if we lose at the Clippers, even if Phoenix beats Chicago, check out who they got the next night. At Golden State. So even if Phoenix beats Chicago and we lose to the Clippers, Phoenix ain't beating Golden State on the road.
No.
In other words, Yvonne, what I am saying to conclude this Pelicans outlook for this week, what I am telling you right now is if we beat Denver tomorrow night, we could be number 8 in the West at the end of this week.
Wow. And we do not play Saturday or Sunday.
That's right. So it's on Phoenix's shoulders after Friday night.
For the Pelicans.
We beat Denver. We're looking at a playoff spot by the end of this week. How good does that sound?
Oh my God. So we have to, tell me again what has to happen?
Phoenix needs to lose to either Washington. Phoenix's next 3 games, they got to lose 2 of them. Washington, Chicago, and Golden State.
And we have to beat Denver.
We either beat Denver or the Clippers. We have to win 1. Phoenix has to lose 2 or more.
I see that we have a better chance of beating Denver than
Absolutely.
the Clippers with the way the Clippers
Absolutely.
are playing right now.
Absolutely.
So we'll know by Wednesday night if we beat Denver
Right.
and Washington beats Phoenix on the same night.
Right.
We'll
There will
know
be
a better chance.
there will be a half game difference if that happens.
Oh my gosh.
The best thing that could happen is that Phoenix loses all 3
Of course.
and we win both.
Of course.
That would give us a 2-game lead for 8th. That's what I'm saying to you. We could have a 2-game advantage in the 8th seed by the end of this week if all goes well. A standings update real quick. It's amazing.
Are we still online? Are we still?
Yes.
You turned it off and turned it back on?
I paused it.
Oh.
It's amazing what a week does. In the East, if the playoffs started today, the 1 seed Atlanta would play the new 8 seed Charlotte. The 2 seed Washington would play the 7 seed Miami. The 3 seed Toronto would play the 6 seed Milwaukee. And the 4 seed Chicago would play the 5 seed Cleveland. In the West, huge shakeup. The 1 seed Golden State would play the 8 seed Phoenix. No change there. Check this out. The new 2 seed Memphis would play the 7 seed San Antonio.
I knew Memphis was not out of it since the very beginning.
The new 3 seed Portland would play the now 6 seed Dallas.
Oh.
And the new 4 seed, Yvonne, home court advantage for the Clippers.
Wow.
Because of their 5-game win streak, would play the 5 seed Houston. What a difference a week makes.
Yep. Sign off and do our numbers so you can go.
All right. Well, that concludes this edition of Full Court Press Basketball Debate.
We would love to hear from you.
For Yvonne Juno, I'm Chris Guyette. Thanks for tuning in, guys. We'll see y'all next week.